Today's woodworking vocab word is shellac. So shellac is a natural resin that's secreted by this little insect here. And it's not every day that we get to talk about a bug in a positive light when we're thinking about woodworking and furniture. But this insect, called shellac, is very important. So the female of this species will crawl along the branches of a tree, and as she goes, she sucks the sap from the tree and she secretes tubes of this resinous material. So this resin is then scraped from the tree branch and it's all put into like a long canvas sock. The bark, the bug, the resin, all of it. This sock is heated over a fire and then the shellac bit will melt out of the sock and drip and be collected in sheets and broken into flakes. So these shellac flakes can then be sold either as the dry flake or they can be dissolved in alcohol and sold as liquid shellac. So the really interesting thing is that the color of the shellac is actually dependent upon which tree species shellac was feeding on when she made the resin. So, for example, if you have a very, very clear colored shellac, it comes from when she was feeding on the kusum tree. Shellac can come anywhere from like a yellowy, orangey color to a dark amber color. And if you remember our discussion about lacquer, which is a liquid shellac plus a plasticizer, remember we said that you could add color to a lacquer to give it some pigment. Now, you can also pick a shellac that has a different color from that orangey yellow to amber to make a naturally colored lacquer. The important thing to remember is that your shellac actually has a shelf life to it of 1 year if it is dissolved in alcohol. So that's why people often buy it as flakes. All right, stay tuned for another discussion about pigment and woodworking when we talk about stains.